Hey everybody, so we're back at it again, working the berm. I learned so many lessons, and I will say if anyone ever wants to build or bury a house out here on the flats with soil that is, I did a little jar test, I think it was like 96% sand and like 4% loam and clay. So yeah, and I've done a couple videos on the berm. This berm was just too steep and the cooling tubes are starting to get buried. So there's 6 culvert tubes in this house. I bought 3 more 20-foot long tubes, cut them in half to 10 feet each and extended the cooling tubes 10 feet out. They were just starting to get buried. And then now we're taking these tire bales and we are building a little retaining wall. So you can see the machine right now, he's making a ramp to come up, and eventually this is all gonna flatten out basically to a terrace and be like a serviceable platform you can drive on. And this retaining wall is also gonna help hold up the rest of the berm. So yeah, it's been quite the process trying to figure out what to do, but I think extending the tubes, building the berm out further, and having a little retaining wall is going to be the answer. Luckily, these tire bales are only 20 bucks each. Ace in your pocket with Stacy. He's freaking awesome. But yeah, so I had resisted the idea of extending the cooling tubes out because you've got to get couplings, and it was another like 2,700 bucks for everything. But you know what? That is what it is, building a house. So you can see the cooling tubes here. We put the rest of my potato rock here, and then it's just gonna get packed in with more dirt. And I do think eventually, not immediately like tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna try a cover crop, like a shallow root, fast growing cover crop, like clover. Because once all this dirt is up, I don't think it would, we've got so much more dirt that I think cover crop might work, as opposed to just rocks. But the other option would just be to cover this with gravel, because even with this retaining wall and extended berm, you don't want exposed dirt. A hailstorm or a big rainstorm comes by and it's gonna still wash it out. So I still need to cover the berm, but this is gonna be way more stable than it was. Way more stable. So if any of you out there are working with this kind of soil, reach out and I can give you all the lessons learned. This is like a multi-year learning process. You can see here's the ramp he's making to get up there. I probably spent way more money than I needed to. As it is, when you don't know what you're doing, you make a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes cost money. So, but that's okay. That's part of the learning process. But had I started this from the beginning, knowing exactly what I wanted to do, I would have made the cooling tubes longer. I would have built this retaining wall. I just would have done it from the start. I did buy these polycarbonate urethane, I don't think you can see them, geocells. And basically they spread out like honeycombs. It's what CDOT, Colorado Department of Transportation, uses underneath their roads to prevent erosion. So I did buy those geocells, and what you do is spread them out like a honeycomb, and then pack them in with dirt, and they would have worked perfectly, except for the fact that I've got 6 mil plastic a foot below this dirt as a vapor barrier, and you have to stake the geocells in with rebar, and I do not want to perforate that plastic because then the house no longer has an effective water barrier. So I'm going to return the geocells. They would work perfect if you could stake them in. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think I had some wishful thinking there, but luckily I'm going to be able to return those, and then I just went with this method. So Anyway, that's what's going on with the berm. This is probably totaled from start to finish, extending the cooling tubes and getting this built up. It's like a 6 full days of this operator working. So I'm so grateful that he was able to do that, I was able to get the tubes. Tire bales were ready to go. They're a great option out here. If any of you are in this area, the Alamosa area, these tire bales they're cheap, they're easy to work with, they're quick. You just stack them up with forks. They're a great option. So anyway, more updates on the interior of the house soon. Thanks everyone.